We've all been there. Your thumbs move too fast, your brain stays 3 steps ahead, and you mash the keyboard into chaos. You might type a garbled nonsense word like huge, yet the AI on the other end identifies the intent almost instantly, snapping that noise back to the word you. To understand why, forget the digital dictionary. AI doesn't use spell checkers. It doesn't read letter by letter. Instead, every word is a coordinate in a high-dimensional vector space, a grid grouping concepts by relationship. Typing huge drops a random point into that grid. Surrounding context creates a gravitational pull, dragging that rogue coordinate into the nearest logical cluster. If language is a map of coordinates, then every concept, no matter how unrelated, has a measurable mathematical distance between it and anything else. We can test the integrity of this map using a context triptych. This is a stress test where we force the model to calculate the exact mathematical center between two poles that share no apparent connection. Take these two poles, a quark, the subatomic building block of quantum physics, and a potluck, a messy community dinner. The AI breaks these words down into latent features. It ignores definitions, instead tracking hundreds of abstract structural traits. Through vector subtraction, the model cancels out non-overlapping features, like temperature or social status, and amplifies the hidden functional traits they share. The resulting midpoint is recipe. A quark is an ingredient in matter. A potluck is an assembly of ingredients brought by individuals. Both rely on a core set of instructions to turn separate parts into a whole. The AI has successfully isolated a functional mechanic that exists across two entirely different domains. The test grows more difficult when we use abstract philosophies. Consider abstraction, the pull toward pure logic, and phenomenology, the focus on raw, subjective experience. The model navigates this gap by following the manifold hypothesis, the theory that all language exists on a predictable, geometric surface, where every idea is structurally connected. The coordinate sitting between logic and feeling is metaphor. It is the linguistic tool humans use to translate a physical sensation into an abstract concept. By finding the point of lowest mathematical error, the model reveals a bridge across the topography of human thought. For the final test, we collide two fundamental forces: entropy, the tendency for things to break down, and synthesis, the process of building order. Entropy is the vector of decay. It is the scattering of information until structure is lost to random noise. Synthesis is the exact opposite. It is the rapid biological assembly of separate parts into a complex and functioning whole. The midpoint where these forces balance is metabolism. It is the biological state that simultaneously breaks down energy and builds up form to keep a living organism alive. When a model discovers these biological realities through linguistic math, it demonstrates how deeply the laws of nature are baked into our vocabulary. Producing midpoints like metabolism or recipe requires the AI to calculate structural relationships across its entire memory. This process effectively maps the topology of human experience, turning word relationships into a visible geometry. We usually view machine logic and human intuition as two separate worlds that never meet. However, in a 768-dimensional space, calculations become so dense that the resulting guesses align with the pattern recognition we call intuition. Because the math tracks billions of connections simultaneously, the output begins to mirror our own mental shortcuts. This changes the nature of our daily interactions with AI. Every prompt is an act of exploration into a structured landscape of meaning. When you type a question, you aren't just checking a database. You are navigating a multi-dimensional map of every concept humanity has ever named.